name is Jerime Cortes and you're watching Back to Basics. Today we're going to talk about the basics movement or basic steps of martial arts. And after this, if we have some time, we might go into some self-defense techniques. So let's start. So we'll be starting out with the basic stances. Now these stances will apply to most martial arts. Number one would be horse stance. What you want to do is you open your legs wide, about maybe 2 feet wide, and you're just gonna like lean back. No, just kidding. You're just gonna like bend your knees a little, back straight. Now this is a horse stance. You want your hands to be on your sides. So when you start off as a white belt, you'll be doing a lot of this, okay? And this here, you could say attention. There's different names. I'll just say attention, all right? So we start off from an attention stance. We go horse stance. One more time. Horse stance. Just so you can get a different view, a different angle. We start in the attention stance and horse stance. Second stance would be the fighting stance. Now fighting stance is pretty much like in general, a general fighting stance. One of your legs, either the left or the right, you'll step back, and you will always want to have your guard up. All right. Every time you practice, try to always have your guard up, because sometimes if you practice with your guard down, you throw all the kicks, you throw all the punches with your guard down. In a real situation, you'll end up, not putting your guard up. So you always want to have your guard up. A different angle for this would be another stance we'll be using a lot is called the cat stance. Now the cat stance, what you do is you're gonna lean your weight, or a little, I would say about 60 or 70% of the weight is gonna be put on one of your legs. All right. So you want to bend this knee. I don't know if you can notice, but the knee is bended, and the other leg, in this case it would be my left leg, you want to extend it outward like in a 45 degrees. So you're standing up straight, and as you move towards a cat stance, you lean your weight back 45 angle degree, and your front leg is just gonna pretty much, it's gonna be just tapping the floor, or just, not all the weight's gonna be on the left leg or on the leg that you have in the front. If I were to use my other leg, this is how it would look. And like I said before, you always want to have your guard up. If you're not in a horse stance, you're not in a fighting stance, and you're definitely not in a cat stance, most probably you'll end up being in a neutral stance. The neutral stance is mostly used during a technique. So what you do is, you're going to step back just so you can get an idea of what's the amount distance, or the distance that you have to have between your feet. You kneel down, and you want to have the distance between your heel and your knee, about maybe 2 fingers or an inch or 2, and then you stand up. That should be pretty much the general idea of the distance you're supposed to have. There's a trick to this. I would suggest, if you have a stick at home or maybe a broomstick, you could use it to improve that stance. Jose? Now what you're going to do is, you set it on the floor, you put your left toe on one side. For example, you put your left toe on the left side of the stick, and you put your heel on the right side. Now remember, you want to keep that distance, okay? So if I kneel down, I'm supposed to be getting that distance I was talking about later. Okay? And you want to have your knees flexed, all right? You don't want to have them straight or locked. You want to have them flexed. Now you could move a little closer, but you should definitely not have a wider gap. Okay? A wider gap would just make you unbalanced, and that's something you don't want to be in a self-defense technique, or just in a fight. You don't want to be unbalanced. You want to make sure you're balanced. If you're too close, you're unbalanced. You don't have any stability, and somebody could just knock you over. All right. So what we're looking for is that stability. You want that balance. You want to be solid. Solid.
I am so weak and I'm so tired. It's hard for